Alright guys, we're going to review the assignment from Monday, February 22nd. Alright, so in our first example, we have a complementary angle, and that simply means that our angle is equal to 90 degrees. So when I'm setting up my equation, that means that I'm going to take my first angle, which is 5x plus 30. I'm going to add to that my second angle, which is 5x. And then I set it equal to 90 because it's a complementary angle. So 5x plus 30, the first angle, plus 5x, the second angle, equals 90. So in our first question, we were asked to select the equation that we would use to solve this. So that would be equation number 4. Right, for 1b, it asks us to solve the equation. So I'm going to combine my like terms, and I can put together 5x plus 5x, and that's going to give us 10x plus 30 equals 90. Then I would subtract 30 from both sides, and that's going to leave me with 10x equals 60. I divide both sides by 10, and I'm going to get x equals 6 for my answer. So in 1b, what is the value of x? That would be 6. In question 2a, what is the value of angle A? So if I look at angle A, it tells me that it is 5x plus 30. So I'm going to replace the x there with 6 since we got x equals 6. So angle A is 5x plus 30. I'm going to replace the x with 6. So then I have 5 times 6 plus 30. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 30 is going to give me 60. So the value of angle A is 60 degrees. So this angle here is 60 degrees. Now we want angle B for the next question. And angle B just says 5x. So again, I'm going to replace the x with 6. So we have 5 times 6, which gives us 30. So this angle here is 30 degrees. And together, they make 90 degrees. 60 plus 30 makes 90. All right, for our next question, we have a supplementary angle, which means that it is equal to 180 degrees. So when I'm setting up my equation, I set it equal to 180. So just like before, I'm going to take my first angle, which is 2x plus 45. I'm going to add my second angle, which is x, and I set it equal to 180. So our equation is 2x plus 45 plus x equals 180. And now I'm going to solve the equation. So my first step, I need to combine like terms. So I can put the x's together. So 2x plus x gives me 3x plus 45 equals 180. Now I need to subtract 45 from both sides. And then that's going to leave me with 3x equals 135. And then my last step, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And that's going to leave me with x equals 45. All right, so my first question asks for the equation. So we're looking for 2x plus 45 plus x equals 180, which would be the last equation. Our next question says what is the value of x, and when we solve the equation we get 45. Okay, next we need to find angle A. So angle A says it is 2x plus 45. So that means that I'm going to replace 45 where the x is because we got that x is equal to 45. So that would leave me with 2 times 45 plus 45. 2 times 45 is 90, plus 45 is going to give us 135. So angle A here is 135 degrees. Okay, for angle B just says that the value is x. So if I replace x here with 45, so if angle B is just x and I replace that with 45, then angle B is simply 45 degrees. And 135 plus 45 will give us our supplementary angle of 180. Our next one is a vertical angle. And vertical angles are congruent, which simply means that they have the same measure. So if I'm looking at angle A and it's 5x minus 70, and its vertical angle is angle B, and they're going to be the same, that means angle A would also be equal to 105 degrees, because they are the same measurement. So angle A is 105. Our next question asks us to solve for x. So if I'm setting up the equation, I would say 5x minus 70 equals 105. Then I'm going to solve the equation. So I add 70 on both sides, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And I'm going to get x is equal to 35. All right, so for my next example, if I'm looking at this one, I can see that I have a supplementary angle. So I do have more than two angles here, but I still have this straight line at the bottom. And these three angles together would still make half of a circle, which is 180 degrees. So if you see a straight line at the bottom, that means that it is a supplementary or 180 degree angle. All right, so now we need to set up our equation. So we have 3x for angle A. For angle B, we have 8x minus 20. So I'm going to add those two together. But I also need to add angle C here. And remember, this little box in the corner tells you that that is equal to 90 degrees. So I'm going to add 90 as well, and I'm going to set it equal to 180. Now I'm going to solve the equation. So let's go ahead and combine our like terms. So when I combine the x's together, I'm going to get 11x, and when I combine negative 20 and 90 together, I get 70, and that's equal to 180. Now we're going to subtract our 70 from both sides, and then after subtracting, we divide both sides by 11. And that's going to leave us with x equals 10. So our first question, what is the value of x? X is equal to 10. And then our second question, what is the measure of angle B? So if I look at angle B, it tells me it is 8x minus 20. So now we need to plug in 10, because 10 is the value of x. We're going to plug in 10 where x is. So that's going to leave us with 8 times 10 minus 20. 8 times 10 is 80, minus 20 is 60. So angle B right here is 60 degrees. And if you wanted to double check to make sure you did it correctly, if we plugged in 10 for angle A, so 3 times 10, that would give us 30 degrees here. And if we have 30 plus 60 plus 90, it does give us 180. Again, just a quick way for you to check. All right, in our next example, we have a complementary angle. I know it's kind of slanted, however, we still have this box in the corner telling us that it's a 90 degree angle. So I'm going to go ahead and write the equation. So our equation would be x, which is angle A, plus 4x minus 85, which is angle B, and then we said equal to 90 because it's a complementary angle. Let's go ahead and combine our like terms to solve. So if I put the x's together, I get 5x minus 85 equals 90. And now we're going to go ahead and add 85 to both sides. So we get 5x equals 175. We're going to divide both sides by 5, and then we'll be left with x equals 35. So for our first answer, 35. And then for the measure of angle B, we need to go ahead and plug it in. So it says 4x minus 85. So I replace the x with 35. All right, so we're left with 4 times 35 minus 85. 4 times 35 is 140. And then 140 minus 85 is going to leave us with 55. So angle B is 55 degrees. So this is 55, this is 35. Together they make 90. All right, next we have vertical angles. We said that vertical angles are the same. So I'm going to say 4x plus 50 equals 150. And then it just asks what the value of x is, so we're going to solve this equation. We need to subtract 50 on both sides, and we'd be left with 4x equals 100. Then we need to divide both sides by 4, and we're left with x equals 25 for our final answer. All right, question number 9 says, what's the measure of angle A? So first we need to set up the equation to solve. These are complementary angles, so they're equal to 90. So I add my two angles, I set it equal to 90. Now I'm going to combine like terms and set up the equation. All right, so we're left with 4x plus 42 equals 90. And then I subtract 42 on both sides. So I'm left with 4x equals 48. Then I divide both sides by 4. And I'm left with x equals 12. All right, so 12 is not our answer because it says what is the measure of angle A? That's what I'm solving for. So A is x plus 42. So I'm going to replace the x with 12 because we got x equals 12. So we'd be left with 12 plus 42, which is going to give us 54. If you wanted to check angle B to make sure you did it correctly, B says it's 3x. So if we replace the x with 12, that would be 3 times 12, which gives us 36 degrees. And 54 degrees plus 36 degrees gives us 90 degrees. So we get our complementary angle of 90. Right, and lastly, 10a says what is the measure of angle A? So we have a supplementary angle here because we have that straight line at the bottom. And that tells us that it's 180 degrees. So I'm going to set up my equation. Right now I'm going to combine like terms. Once I combine, I'm going to get 2x plus 112 equals 180. And then I need to solve, so I'm going to subtract 112 on both sides. So that leaves me with 2x equals 68. And I divide both sides by 2. And I'm left with x equals 34. So to get the measure of angle A says it's x plus 12. So I'm going to replace the x with 34. And 34 plus 12 is going to give us 46. So angle A is 46 degrees. And then 10b says what is the measure of angle C? And if I look at angle C, it just says x here. And we know that x is equal to 34. So angle C is 34. And when you add your three angles up to make sure you did this correctly, so A is 46 degrees, B is 100 degrees, and C is 34 degrees. When I add all those up, I get 180 degrees, like I should.